Well, was that what you were expecting? Ah, God, who'd have thought? Me on a Ducati? Never in a million years did I think I'd have one of these things. Beautiful bike. Poster stuff. Always loved the V4 Streetfighter. Ever since it came out, I was like, oh, that to me is the most beautiful Ducati ever made. But there's no way I can afford a V4, and certainly couldn't make use of the 200 and odd horsepower they've got. Never mind the 150 that this has got. Literally picked this up yesterday. Drove down to Glasgow with every intention of riding it back. Luckily I took the van though, because it chucked rain most of the way there and most of the way back, and Mrs. 01 was with me, and she was going to drive the van back if I rode back, but that didn't happen. And I got as far back as Aviemore and it dried out, and I could have ridden from there, but the insurance company let me down. They never called back in time. So this morning is my first ride on my new bike. I've literally just swung the leg over it, wait to get some fuel, and then I'll just take a little bimble about the countryside, trying to avoid all these heavy showers we're getting, and all of the roadworks with the resurfacing work, because the last thing you want in a new bike is stone chips. This is just so smooth. At the moment I've got this set up in just road. I believe road and sport are both the full beams, both over the 150, but slightly different throttle maps. And then you've got wet, which is only 100 horsepower, the same as Moose, my 790 Duke, for the wet. It's going to take a bit getting used to. You know, it's like you get a new bike, you're not sure about where the revs are, the gearing and all that sort of stuff, but that's a few corners in, I'm loving it already. It feels so light. Definitely feels heavier than Moose does, but not daft heavy. It's only 15 kilos wet according to the stats. But oh yeah, it's just lovely. That note as well, standard exhaust's what I've got. I'll do some slow-mos and some music with everything I've bought with the bike, but basically I could have got the full Acura system for more than I spent on all the other toys that I've gone for, the cosmetics. The exhaust can wait. I do like the Acura for this. I'm not caring so much about the sound. It looks gorgeous, it really finishes off the belly pan. So maybe one day, but it's not something I'm in a hurry to do. Now I've got 600 miles to do before the sort of second half of July, just to get the running service out of the way, and then I can start sort of opening up a bit more. 6,000 RPM's my ceiling, and just going on what I'm feeling here. There's tons of torque. The good thing about running in a twin obviously is you do have a bit of grunt low down, unlike the time I was running in my R6, that was just horrible. Nothing there. It wasn't even getting near being in its power band when I was having to short shift. So yeah, that was the longest 700 miles of my life. This should be a bit more enjoyable. One of the things that you won't be able to make out obviously on my list of accessories when I do the slow-mos is I've got built-in heated grips this time, so you wouldn't even know they're there. You just go into your menu, switch them on. I've not tried them yet. too mild, obviously, and I've just got the bike, but just looks like a neater solution. So size wise, where would I put this compared with the Duke? Getting onto it, it was, well, my gearing is just the bike just doesn't feel second nature yet. I'm going for gears that I don't really need. Yeah, compared to the 790, it's not at all cramped. I'd say it's a similar sitting position with reach and how I feel on the seats. Slightly, my legs are slightly up and back compared with the 790. It feels sportier. I'm 5'10"-ish, and yeah, I feel right at home. I don't feel at all cramped up in it. Whereas I remember the S1000R, when I tried that last year, it felt really cramped to me, very, like, almost like I was sitting on a sport, well, a sort of 1000cc sports bike. It was really sort of up and back on the pegs, and definitely far more canted forward on those straight sort of dragster style bars they had. I liked those. And so yeah, it's kind of halfway between the 790 and the S1000R. It definitely feels smaller in the tank area than the S1000R. It doesn't feel so girthy. Obviously the twin, it's got a slimmer profile to the engine, so that's probably why. The clocks, obviously, they're much talked about on many of the review videos. Quite small compared with the S1000R, which had the most amazing clocks you're going to find in a bike. They were just beautiful, like a giant iPad. These are physically, the surround included, it probably much and such the same as the 790 Duke, although further away, so looks smaller. But everything's there that I need. I'm happy with them. I can see what also some of the reviews were mentioning, the vibes coming through that headlight cowl and onto the dash. Yeah, it's there, but is it a deal breaker? No, because you're only looking at it for a split second. Anytime you're adjusting anything, you're generally doing that before you leave. So it's got the ability to self-cancel the indicators. You can switch that off and on if you want, if you don't trust it. I've got them on just now, so I'll see what happens here. Does it cancel? Yep, cancelled. Wow, good. And then you've got the auto daylight running lights and full beam. The lights in this are just gorgeous. I don't see, well, I kind of do see the Joker thing, this Joker thing they keep going after with the face of the bike, but if I'm being honest, what grabs my eye are the actual lights themselves. The headlight cowl reminds me hugely of a set of Ducati, I think they were Troy Corsair limited edition Oakleys that I had years ago, which my wife bought me, and my favourite glasses. Fell off the Spey Bridge into the River Spey and probably went out into the Murray Firth somewhere. Fell through one of those gaps. I could have tried all day to, you know, if it was to win $1 million, I could have stood there all day trying to get them to go through this gap, but no, straight through without touching the sides into the river. So yeah, they remind me hugely of those. Beautiful, beautiful headlight. I love everything about this bike. The styling is just so freaking eye-catching. You know, you just see something and you go, wow, well that's it. Much improved, I think, by the single seat tail tidy, cowl, sorry, and the tail tidy. Seat cowl's always something I've done on my bikes anyway, but oh, this just looks so wash-bish. Yeah. Have to make a proper effort to lift my old achy hip over the tail unit when I'm getting off and on. Very scorpion like the way it sort of swings up at the top. Yeah, so fun times ahead then, eh? I won't probably be doing a huge amount to this bike. It's got everything that I want about it already. So nah, there won't be a huge amount. This will be my proper Sunday bike, as you would call it, although I don't generally ride these bikes at the weekend. I use the smart pulling for that when the roads are busy because everyone else is out. And right, I'll get back to you after I've fueled up. There we go, the rain's never far away here, is it? It's only water, and I'm only wobbling, so. Right, where was I? I'll probably give it a few weeks and I'll do one of those videos where you kind of, I'll do 5 things I like and 5 things I don't like about my bike, kind of thing. But mainly this is going to be a bike that it's just about living with. I am not, as I've said before, I'm not one of these trust fund babies that has unlimited resources or companies throwing parts at me to try out. So this is real world stuff, what it's like to live with it. Already we're off to a pretty good start. Regards Ducati's sort of customer care. Since I ordered this, I forgot to mention that, didn't I? I ordered this back in February of this year, after It's All Called Your Biker's Fault, that I'm up to my eyeballs in it and now have 3 bikes. Yeah, he kind of invited us along to do that, which 3 bikes from 2022 with a buy kind of video that I did. Because of that, I ended up playing on the Ducati configurator and falling even more in love with this beautiful bike, and realised that, oh, actually I can afford this. Even adding all the trinkets on that I wanted. So yeah, Codger's fault. And yeah, it kind of does that dealer thing where it fires an email to your dealer if you're interested in getting in touch, and I downloaded the app and had a look through that. And Raymond from Ducati Glasgow got back in touch real quick. Lovely guy, kept in touch all the way through, no hassle to buy, what would you like on it, made a few suggestions, left me to mull it over. I got back in touch and then we kind of ordered the bike, and ever since then I've been getting regular updates, emails from Ducati, all that sort of Ducati owners club stuff, updates about the Ducati World Weekend in Misano, and yeah, just all sorts of stuff. And it's really built the excitement for me with the bike coming. Normally I can kind of switch off to all that stuff and not fall for it, distract myself, but I haven't been able to this time. I'm really looking forward to this bike arriving, because there's not been a week went by where I wasn't getting an email or an update via phone call or something, you know. So yeah, I was so excited the night before I drove down in the chucking rain to get it. And it's lived up to the hype so far. Guys at dealership were nice, got introduced to the whole team down there, and got the bike booked in for its first service, and it will rain every day until then, I'm sure. Right, so back to how it feels. Very firm, not crashy, but firm compared to the 790. Big bump here in this corner, yeah, it's always just like a double bump, solid over that. And let's see, I'll put it in the top there, so I'm lined up to 6,000 RPM, and I'm sitting at 60 and I'm just under 4,000, so I'm just going to play with the gears. It's recommended that obviously the tyres are new, the brakes are new, and the engine is new, just to find some hilly, twisty roads that I'm often on the throttle a bit and up down the gearbox and trailing the brakes a little just to get them bedded in. So yeah, I'll go and find some roads like that locally, hopefully avoid those black clouds that are all around me and the gravel. Get this 600 miles under my belt and get back down to Glasgow for that service, and then we can start using the bike a bit more. Oh, this feels great. That's it, finally made the 600 mile mark. I was out this evening, got the last sort of, I think I needed about 90 odd miles, so hit that tonight. Fueled up again. It feels like I'm always fueling up just now. It's definitely a thirstier bike than I thought it would be, particularly because I'm only able to do 6,000 RPM just now. It's not like the bike's been caned. That may change once it's run in. It feels like I'm getting around 120, 130 miles per tank before the fuel warning light comes on. So I don't know how much I've got in reserve, but yeah, it certainly comes on earlier than I'm expecting it to. Yeah, that's 6,000 RPM. You can feel the bike's just getting in the sweet spot and wants to really kick off, and you're having to change. So it'll be, I think I'm in for a wake up call once I get it home from the service and get out for a proper run on it. I think it's gonna kick my arse. It's gonna go a lot quicker yet, you know. At the moment, short shifting, it feels like it feels similar in speed to the 790. Just takes less effort to do everything. But yeah, I think I'm in for a wake up call when I do manage to open up a bit. But yeah, enjoying the bike still. Every time I go out, I've got a smile on my face. I love the front end, it just handles so nicely. I'm the main thing holding it back at the moment, but still learning. 600 miles in, and then I'll have to learn it all again once once I've got this extra 4,000 RPM to play with. So anyway, I'm going for a bite to eat, and then I'm going to give it a quick wash, because I know it's going to going into a workshop tomorrow, but I just don't like handing over a dirty bike, so it'll get a good clean and then into the back of the van for the trip down the road, and hopefully we hit a dry spell on the way home and I get to give it the beans.